Welcome back to the exciting conclusion of the Blob. We are now facing the final boss. It's Commander Black inside the ultimate ink bot. This ink bot is merciless, and the way that you win is by taking your careful time to paint things the specific colors they need to be painted. In order to make this guy vulnerable, which he is completely immune from anything we do right now, he cannot be painted. He has no spots on him to be filled with paint like any sort of monument that we've encountered, but he has these little platforms out here, these pillars of protection, at least momentary protection while we paint them. They need to be painted a certain color, as you can see by the flashing ring around them. Once all of them are properly colored, what they're supposed to be colored, and as you can see that's a difficult task because Commander Black over there keeps firing away at what we do, undoing every single paint stroke, every single touch of a platform we do. It's very obnoxious, and especially when being chased by Jumpsuit Guy, and none of the colors that we need to paint these things are the colors of the Jumpsuit Dude. So my recommendation is trying to paint one color first. Don't mix. Even if you run into the water, don't go purple, then orange, then purple, then orange. Just stick with one color, then go to the other color. And if necessary, hide behind these things, because you don't want to be inked yourself, because then you won't be able to paint anything. You'll be an ink blob doing Commander Black's doing. You'll be doing his work, making everything grayscale with your touch. But once you've touched all... Fuck! Phew, thank goodness for that fountain right there. Once you've touched all the proper paint platforms, you gather enough paint. No! And you act faster than I acted, and you get into his paint portal spot on his hat there. Alright, so let's not land on the spikes and try and do this again. My bad, guys. You know, maybe it would be best if we did kill those little jumpsuit dudes, but I think they respawn, so that's the reason I don't want to take too much time with them. Just keep rushing around. If he cannot target you, and if he targets you in an open area, or he hits the platforms that you're not painting, that's a good strategy to use. While you're painting, say, the orange ones, use the purple platforms, like that, as a means of hiding. If you do that, then you'll be able to focus on one set of paint while not being withered away by ink blasts. This time we've got 100 paint. I'm not fucking around here. When I finish painting these purple, I want to go right up to his face. Probably a better strategy to recommend than the first thing I did, haphazardly painting as I went along. But if you stockpile paint and not ink while you are going around to paint these different platforms, that is the proper thing to do in order to get the jump in on the attack first. Stop landing on spikes. I knew that was going to happen, but it was more important that we weren't turned into ink, because look, we can change it back to the right color, and now he's not focused on that platform. Yeehaw! Alright, you have to do a little bit of backtracking, gotta do what works. This guy definitely has a good mech on his side, and a huge tank of ink to use it with. Although I wonder what his mech would be like if he wasn't in that ink pond. Oh well, it's not gonna matter, because we are gonna make it a paint pond. Now we've got tons of paint to fill him up. 50. Nice, and we get a time boost for it. So that's something also to keep in mind, is that while you paint along these different areas, now there's more spikes that have leveled up from the ground, and there's different colors, different combinations of colors. We need yellow and blue, red and blue, and red and yellow, or rather, yellow and red to make orange. Get my freaking colors straight. So these are not just the primary colors that we're painting these. We need a mix. There's more jumpsuit guys. It ramps up in difficulty. But same sort of strategy. You need to first take out one color at a time, then worry about the others. Use the colors you're not trying to paint as not brown, as protection from the ink blasts, and you should be good. Should be good, but remember, keep a steady paint stream on yourself and not a stream of no paint, because I really wanted to paint that orange. Don't shoot me! Okay, good. Because once you get all these platforms painted, that's when he goes into failure mode, and his vulnerability is shown. That's the only time you can attack him. Any other time, you are helpless. You are at the whim of his ink blasts, and you could hide behind these pillars all day, but they won't do you any good, especially when you're being chased by these inky jumpsuit guys. You know what? It doesn't matter though, because if you keep moving, they really can't keep up with you. The main ink to worry about here is his ink blasters, because they're rapid fire. He shoots off multiple blasts, I guess 3 it seems to be. I did not want to be a brown blob, I was trying to be yellow. That's the problem with Z-target sometimes. You don't get the right paint, and when there's multiple things like in this area to Z-target, it doesn't know what you want. But we now have plenty of paint. Come on. Yeah, that's right. Shoot away from the platforms. Alright, one more green. One more green. One more green! And his weakness is exposed. Alright, we got 77 paint. Proper to pwn this punk. So that was the second shot. Oh, look at that. Every single set of spikes has been activated. And holy crap, we almost are dead. This is a dangerous mission. Alright, now you have to be extra careful, as you just saw there. You've got the ink firing at you, you've got the inky jumpsuit dudes who are coming around. I just want to collect some damn paint so I don't die so easily falling on spikes. Damn it, I don't want to do that. Because sitting on spikes for any remainder of time, any little length of time, it will take your paint points away rapidly like that. And that's not a good thing. No, that's not very good at all. Not the best. Not the best. Not the rest. It's not what you wanna do. So target all the paint in the area, and shit, don't land on those two. No! Oh, I keep coming back from the dead. Just barely. You can tell this is definitely the hardest phase of the boss, because you've got waggle mechanics on multiple directions. You've got a couple of things to worry about to waggle away from, and both attacking and Z-targeting and waggle, all that jumping and things, all those things are combined together. No! Alright, phew, we got rid of the purple. Through all that, we got rid of the purple. We need to not be blasted with ink when we have 10 paint left. So things can get hectic. You can target the wrong things. You can roll over on some spikes you didn't want to roll on. But I do say it is actually easier to move around once you've taken out one set of the pillars, whether it's purple, orange, or green, whatever one you choose to go for first. It doesn't really matter, whatever's really convenient for you to Z-target whatever paint bots you're near. Go for that one first. It's all about getting rid of the pillars eventually, every single one, so any one that you go for is a benefit. But it makes the field a lot more maneuverable once there are not so many things in the way, but the spikes don't help any day. So you just gotta stay off of them, because those will be your main downfall. And oh, it's a death combo if you land right on the spikes when you're being fired upon. When you're being fired upon by ink. And I'm thinking that this will be the last. This will probably be the last shot it takes to destroy the ink bot. So I want to get as much ink stored, at least 100 or at least close to that, so that once he goes into the vulnerable spot, I can take him out, and we can... No! We can sit in the fountain. I was going to say so we could call this finished, but we're going to need more paint than that, and thanks for undoing that, you jerk. That's sometimes the most frustrating thing about this level, aside from the spikes and the inky jumpsuits. is when he undoes your painting, whatever pillar you're painting at that time, and then he makes it go back to grayscale with his ink vistas. That is a big pain in the ass, and it makes you have to do a bit of backtracking. But if you can keep him firing away from you, but still in an open spot where he doesn't do that, where he doesn't actually hit a pillar, that one didn't matter because I got to repaint it anyway. If you can get that to go down, then you'll be good. And I do believe he is like a traditional Nintendo boss. Oh, and I can't believe I did that. I had orange all set, and I just need red. And I freaking... Curse you, fountains! Instead of being a help, you are a heathen! Alright, no more Z-targeting. Chop down this last pillar. And now, the time to strike! That's right, little yellow jumpsuit dude. You're too late. Your boss is busted. Time to transform this thing. What this whole entire spaceship's going to transform into, I don't know. It's got to be something real badass. And look at that, he's stuck in there. Like a fish in a fishbowl. Frickin' hilarious. I love it. So what could this transform into? Maybe an intergalactic ice cream ship? Oh, I hope it's that. Delivering ice cream bars to Mars? That would be delicious. Let's see what happens. And that's the Blob. Alright everyone, I hope you've enjoyed this LP. It has been a blast for me. Really nice to revisit some things on the Wii. And I'm going to keep doing that because I've got a big backlog of library things, of awesome games to play, of, oh man, so many games. So I'll see what comes up next in my LPs. But I do know that we're heading into the summer, so for sure we're going to have lots more adventures. Things like Reduxes, a Redux of an LP that I did a long time ago, and many more things. So comment below on what you think those projects could be. Imagine what could get a Redux, what would really deserve one, what LP did I do that was so horrible. I know there was plenty, but that I would probably redo. Take a guess at that. But also leave your thoughts on the Blob. Would you get this game on the Wii? If you have Wii U, would you pick it up? I mean, it's a wise choice to do for Wii U, since there's not so much coming out right now, and we're kind of in the middle of that. It's almost like when the 3DS came out, you know. But with Wii, there's a lot more, I feel, games that were missed than maybe DS games that were missed because DS was more popular. I don't know. That's all speculation, but just saying, this is an awesome game. I love the artistic design of it. It shows that you don't need super HD graphics. You can take a really cool concept, add some styles and jazz to it, and you've got a really fun game. You know, again, the platforming, that was my biggest gripe with this game as far as the jumped. The platforming itself, they had clever puzzles. It was all well involving of the paint mechanics for sliding down walls and doing kind of pseudo wall jumps whenever you could. Those were cool, but I would have liked a button that was separate from waggle just to do jump, and maybe waggle to ground pound enemies. But